Hello one all, it's my review of My Hero Academia, Chapter 269, The Three of Us. And we open up with Endeavor telling Mirko he's gonna cauterize her wounds, and I do just love it. He gives her a flaming bandana to bite down on, but Endeavor, buddy, how exactly are you planning on cauterizing these wounds? I mean, sure, her arm you can do, but there are large chunks missing out of her one leg. The other leg looks like it was bitten, and the wound on her side is so bad I'm fairly certain I can see a few organs right there. How exactly are you planning on cauterizing that? I mean, seriously. He's also interrupted by a Nomu immediately afterwards, so I'm not sure he really got around to that anyway. And he is fairly impressed with her for being able to take on multiple high-end Nomu by herself for 5 straight minutes. I mean, that's something even Endeavor probably couldn't do. I mean, it does help, they weren't in a fully finished state. They took them a while to wake up to get to the point where they're actually this big of a threat as they are now, but still, that is very freaking impressive. And Aizawa is proving to be the ultimate threat against Nomu, as he's managing to nullify all their quirks, which, yeah, so last chapter, he is literally the worst person they can fight against. I mean, sure, they still have their superhuman strength they got from being genetically modified as they were, but not going to do a whole lot against these top-ranked heroes here, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, Aizawa has to make a fairly big sacrifice. He isn't able to go, kill the doctor himself because he needs to stay here. He needs to keep the Nomu from moving forward. So he has to hold them back and let President Mike go in and take out the doctor by himself. And he issues this line before he goes in. Get it done. Yeah, he's definitely not going there to capture the doctor. He's definitely more likely to kill him than anything. And the doc's fairly panicked right now because all his machines are busted, but the data is still good, so as long as he wakes him up before, the vac completely breaks, he'll be okay. Though he won't be fully complete, he's only at like 70-80% of his full potential right now. And this was the whole culmination of his dream, the ultimate being he's been working towards the last 20 years. So he really doesn't want to do this halfway. And then just as he's going to press the switch to awaken Tomoro Shigaraki, President Mike unleashes his full force, utterly annihilates the glass container, sends the doctor flying through the air, I love it, and then just for special measures, just to make really sure that he is really the real doctor and not a clone, he smacks him with all his might, gives him a DJ punch, and as he says, that one's for making my pal cry. And then, it seems like they won fairly easily. According to X-Last, the eye laser hero, Shigaraki's not breathing and his heart stopped because the process put him in a death-like state. And the capsule was supposed to, revive him, restart his heart essentially. And since he's not in the capsule anymore, they can't really do that. And then all the other heroes show up and stop the Nomu completely. And it looks like victory. I mean, Endeavor takes off the head of this Nomu. The other ones don't like that they're doing too well either, and on the last page he says, the Lord of Evil's dream will die, so yay? We won? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I mean, the doctors used fake tears in the past to trick and confuse the enemies to make them think they won when he had a, backup plan up his sleeve, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, so he might still have another trick up his sleeve, so another method of winning, another way of waking him up. Because, the very last panel, we see All For One on the prison, and it looks like he's smiling. It looks like under his mask there is a smile on his face. And that is very, very worrying. Why is he smiling? What is he happy about? Was this all part of his plan, somehow, some way? Is he going to break out of prison now, or is Shigaraki's comatose being going to be put in prison, or is something going to happen where he can get to Shigaraki and switch brains with him? Like, can he put his brain in Shigaraki's body now that he's brain dead, essentially? And then he'll be All For One with all of his quirks, but also with all the destructive capabilities Shigaraki was going to have as a perfectly genetically modified being. That would make a lot of sense. The doctor was using Shigaraki all this time so he could get his body, so he could take control of him. Is there any chance this was all planned from the beginning? This was them being captured by the heroes and everything was what he wanted somehow, some way? It would have been unlikely that he would have sacrificed all his Noma for that, but he also says, I've only been living for that boy's sake, for Shigaraki. I'm really not sure. I mean, is this just to get, a young, undamaged body for All for One? Because that would make a lot more sense and make him definitely a better villain, a better final villain if it's just All for One, not Shigaraki having a temper tantrum. I mean, someone with just, true intelligence leading the charge instead of just Shigaraki just killing and destroying everything. I mean, how would the rest of the league respond to him being essentially swapped out for another mind? I don't think they'd be on board with that plan. Definitely not Toga. Dabi probably wouldn't mind. I mean, he has his own plan to do something evil. Maybe that'll be it. Maybe Dabi's the one who's going to end up being the true final villain now. He's gonna find a way to take out Hawks, take control of the situation, somehow get destruction for all for himself or something. I'm really not sure. I mean, like I said, it seems like the heroes won, but it seems way too easy right in here. And we still have Giganto, wherever the heck he is. He's the radio, but we're just waiting for Shigaraki's orders, or All for One's orders to do something. And plus, don't forget, we still have all the Deku, Bakugo, and the rest of the students who aren't at the mansion, just waiting outside of the hospital to handle things if they go bad. So, I mean, I feel like they need to play a role here. So maybe Shigaraki will just wake up on his own. Maybe the doctor's buying time, claiming that Shigaraki's actually dead when he'll wake up on his own when he says a code word, or when he gets electrocuted, or when something happens. I'm really not sure. This is a very strange chapter. They won and they won, but they shouldn't have. It can't be over this easily. But yeah, let me think of all that down below. What do you think's gonna happen now? Was this part of All for One's plan? Is he gonna switch brains to Shigaraki? Is he gonna wake him up somehow, some way? Is the plan just to get Shigaraki into a coma so that he gets transferred to the prison where All for One is so they can both bust out together? Is the plan to get Giganto to the prison so they can bust out together? I mean, what's gonna happen? Honestly, I don't know at this point. But I'm sure I can subscribe to the next video. It's gonna be a little while. Golden Week in Japan are off again next week, which is very depressing since they were just off last week as well, but it happens. But until then...
Peace!